have a blog, people are going to make nasty comments. That's just part of how it goes. But the difference between whether or not you're going to make it is how you deal with those comments. I just got a really nasty comment on one of my Instagram posts. I made this book about how to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram, and someone decided to slam my book without even reading the book, without even reading the post. All they read was the graphic and posted something nasty in the comments. And immediately I felt dejected and down. I felt really rejected. And the thing is, I was really proud of my book yesterday, and I was even proud of it this morning. But as soon as I read that comment, I felt really icky and awful. And I kind of felt like a fraud, like maybe my book wasn't that great. A lot of people ask me how you deal with negative comments. So I wanted to kind of walk you through the process of what happens when you get a negative comment and how to deal with it. And hopefully this will help you deal with it a lot quicker. If you want to learn more about starting a blog or an online business, make sure that you sign up for my blog school email list at infjwoman.com/blog school. There's a link in the video description. Certainly in the beginning, it's really, really difficult. The first time you get a negative comment, the first 6 or 8 times, it's really, really hard because you're not really sure what to do. And you're already feeling really vulnerable and like really stressed out because you're putting yourself out there, and most of the time you don't feel confident about it. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I still don't feel very confident about a lot of stuff that I put out. Not that I'm not confident in the material, it's just that I know that there are people who can make negative comments, and a lot of the stuff that I want to write about is stuff that comes from a really real and vulnerable place for me. So it's difficult for me to share that stuff. And even though this book, which is about gaining Instagram followers, it really isn't that vulnerable. It's just my process on how I do it. I'm still unsure if it's going to work, right? Because this is a new thing that's not really proven. So I'm kind of like, is this going to work? I just kind of want to try it and see what happens. So it's this new thing that I created, and I'm just really unsure of the process. So when the first comment that I get about it is somebody going, "Oh my God, that's completely awful. I don't know why you did that." It's like, ooh, that's not what I needed to start out with, right? So you get that negative comment and you're like, "Oh, I just feel awful. This is terrible and horrible and awful," right? When you're in that moment, the first thing that I want you to do is ask yourself, is it true? What they said, is it true? Now, in my instance, what she said in the comment, it wasn't true at all. So when you have the answer to that question, is it true? Most of the time it's not going to be true, because these people, they're anonymous people. A lot of times they don't even have their own name on their Instagram account. They don't have their picture. They just create these accounts so that they can say whatever they want to say without even thinking about other people, right? So if you come to the conclusion their comment wasn't true, you can also look at their comment and say, is there some kind of constructive criticism that I can get from this comment, right? Maybe take a screenshot of it, because in the moment, you're not going to be really excited about thinking about that. You're just going to be upset. So take a screenshot of it. And then the next thing that I want you to do is hit the block button. And I'm telling you to hit block because you're going to delete their comment too. But if you delete their comment before you block them, you won't know who to block, right? So hit block. That's the second thing that I do on every single one of those comments. Because here's the thing. They made a negative comment. They're going to make another negative comment. That's just how they are. And if you allow them to stay on their page, they're just going to keep doing this to you over and over again. Here's the other thing. I look at it from a perspective of me as a client, me as a consumer of social media. When I go to somebody else's page and I see a post that I like and I think, oh, I'm going to comment. I click on the little comment thing and I see everybody else's comments scroll down. If I see a bunch of negative comments, especially a bunch of people attacking other people in the comments, I'm not going to comment. I don't want any part of that. I don't want people attacking me on social media. So when I see that, I'm like, ooh, no, I'm not going to comment. Nope, never mind. Forget about it. Now, if I hit the comment button and I see a bunch of positive comments and a bunch of people encouraging each other, I definitely want to comment because I really want to be a part of that. So when you think about blocking negative people and deleting their comments, you have to not only think about that one person who's being negative, but you have to think about all of your other followers. You have to think about all of your potential followers. Is this something that you want them to see? Is this the experience that you want them to have? The negativity? And if the answer is no, block and delete, move on. Now, after you've blocked them and deleted their comment, you might still feel icky. I still feel icky. I was sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to ruin my whole day. This is awful and terrible, and I don't know why somebody would say something like that. You can choose to go down that path and let it ruin your day and let it hold you back from putting out another offer, from putting out another Instagram post. Or you can take a different path and say, you know what? I'm not going to let this person ruin my day. You can ask yourself this question: how would I feel if I didn't believe that that comment was true? Now, the nasty comment that this person made about my book, it wasn't true. Right? We already determined that it wasn't true. They didn't read my book. That was very clear. They didn't even read the post. They just read the graphic, right? So I have to ask myself, how would I feel if I didn't believe that their comment was true? Well, the answer to that question is I would feel a lot better. I wouldn't feel icky. I would still feel proud of my book. I would still be excited that it might be a good thing because I really feel like it is a good thing. That's why I wrote it. That's why I wanted to put it out there. That's why I wanted to offer other people the opportunity to grow their Instagram following, because a lot of people ask me about it. I mean, that's why I wrote the book, right? So I really, really encourage you, when you're in that situation, to question how you're feeling about it. Because just because you feel that way doesn't mean that you need to let it dictate your actions, right? You don't always have to go along with how you feel. So just because her nasty comment made me feel icky doesn't mean that that has to ruin the rest of my day. Her comment wasn't true, and I don't need to believe that it is true. I can set that down and say, you know what? I'm still proud of my book. I'm still excited about it. It's still going to be a great thing, even though one person doesn't like it. If you want more advice about starting a blog or an online business, make sure that you check out my blog school playlist. Also, make sure that you subscribe so you never miss a video.